I had a thought the other day, and I thought to myself, why am I trying so hard? Why do I want to better myself? Why do I want to change? Why does it matter? You know, hold on, I gotta change my freaking sensitivity. This is way too fast. But like, why am I trying so hard to change? Why do I want to be better? Because I was going through a moment of pain to where I realized that what I was doing was more difficult than if I just didn't do it. Because it was something that I didn't have to do. It was something that I chose to put myself through, and I was feeling that difficulty. I was feeling that pain, but it was something that I wanted to do. And so, in that present moment, I was having a thought of why. What's even the point? You know, I don't have to do this. I can easily choose to do something that's more comfortable, I guess. And that's, you know, and that's something that humans do, that we as people, humans, like I'm not human, like that we as people, you know, have always, you know, done. We've always, the body, our brains would rather do something, do the most easy thing, the most, you know, the most simple task. They do the thing that at the, you know, maybe like short-term gratification. I think that's the word I'm trying to look for. We'd rather do the thing that will make us feel good in the present moment versus, you know, what'll make us feel good, uh, you know, years from now, months, maybe, you know, maybe it take a few months, maybe it'll take a year, whatever. But like normally, but we always try to do that. We typically avoid doing things that there is not an immediate reaction, immediate sort of gratification, satisfaction, and that's why people, you know, become addicted to things like drugs and stuff like that, because they, you know, weed, you know, porn, uh you know, candy, food, you know, things like that. They're immediately satisfying as soon as you take them in, right? Versus choosing not to do those things, you know, it kind of hurts because dang, I would really like to, you know, feel better right now about whatever it is that's stressing me, but I can't. But because I'm choosing not to, uh, you know what I mean? I can't. So why am I saying all this? You know, it's it's to remind myself. I'm trying to. I don't want to make that actually. I'm trying to remind myself of the fact that when you're starting out, when things are starting out, or you know, whatever, you just start that habit or that thing that you want to start, and some, like at the beginning, it's not going to be nice. It's not going to be nice. Like you might get some progress in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You might get the sort of reaction that you want, or maybe you don't, or maybe you don't. Maybe you don't get anything, and that's gonna suck. And you gotta, and that might make you want to quit. That might make you want to stop you know, stop doing that thing altogether. But you gotta remember, why are we doing it in the first place? You know, like for me with YouTube, the whole reason why, like when I was younger and I wanted to be a YouTuber, it wasn't because of the potentiality for, you know, to become famous or get views. It was because I enjoyed playing video games and talking to people while doing it, right? Versus, and you know, recently, and the reason why I hadn't started making YouTube videos, sorry, let me back up. And the reason why, and I had forgotten all about that because it had been well over. I haven't like before the last like week or so. I had took like like a 3-4 year gap in making YouTube videos, and it was because I was so like caught up in trying to make it, you know, make it perfect and have it. And what else? I got a little distracted. But I had a moment of clarity the other day, the other day when I was in class, I had to. It was in one of my classes, and in the mornings before the class starts, we always have a short quiz on the reading that we did for the as homework the previous day. And what is that? Oh, it's a fox. And I I did the reading as I was supposed to, and I hadn't really been doing too great on the quizzes. So I was really wanting to get a good score on this quiz, so that of course, my grade would go up, and make me feel better about me not doing too well on the. Oh, is that a village? And to make myself feel better about doing poorly on the previous quizzes, and I go in there, I take the quiz, and I answered so confidently every question, like instantly. Didn't really put too much thought into it, but I answered every question very confidently, and I got I got most of them wrong. Got most of them wrong, and in that instant, this was like 8 a.m. I have no food. This is actually the worst spawn ever. I should have reset this world, but uh oh, I don't have to tap shift the sprint. I can just hold it. It's interesting. I actually don't like that. Let me change that. But keep in mind, this was like 9 a.m. on a Friday, right? I mean, there was my parents were coming to see me over. Oh, what the fudge? Oh, they want to throw hands, bud. Never mind. My parents were coming to see me. My parents were coming to see me over the weekend. I was gonna go to a football game on Sunday with some friends. It was looking to be a good weekend. But this single moment of like disappointment, you know, threw off my whole energy of the day. And for the rest of the day, I was in a sour mood. I was in the library after studying, and a friend came up to me and started talking to me, and I really couldn't even give her like the I really didn't couldn't even give her the energy that I wanted to. I just was off. I was kind of could barely even like muster a smile. And recently, I've been trying as I've been trying to understand myself better and learn more. I've been trying to as I've been trying to understand myself better. I've been trying to understand why I feel certain emotions, and I had to. And I so for the rest of the day, I was kind of just thinking to myself, I couldn't really understand why this had upset me so much, and it was because, and I ended up talking to that friend because she noticed that I was looking a little down, so she asked me, why I was feeling that way, and I could not explain it to her, so she asked me, well, explain to me everything that you did today. So I went through and explained, how, and everything from when I woke up to, that moment in class. And then as I explained the rest of it to her, I still didn't really, come to understand it. But then but then I remembered like what exactly I told myself in that like in that moment as I was, I need food, bro. What the Ew, I don't like that animation. Bro, this world sucks. I'm resetting. Anyway, as I was talking to her, in that present moment, I realized what what I was thinking as I was taking that quiz and as I got the score back, and I realized that I told myself I was going Sakura Forest. I was going into my old way, like I was hitting on a negative wavelength. I was telling myself, dang, you must really suck at reading. You didn't digest you spent, an hour plus reading and you didn't digest any of it. You didn't understand any of the questions that were asked. You didn't, you didn't take your time to read, which is actually that part was true. I really did not take the time I was supposed to take into reading the assignment or reading the questions that he asked. And that's, that's and that's something to learn. But I was being harsh to myself. I was being much harsher than I needed to be myself. I didn't, and that, And you have to think to yourself, and you have to think to yourself, like, what am I, or my thought is the thought that I'm having right now, is it a good thought? You know, like what you're saying, it might be true. You know, but like me calling myself an idiot and saying that, you know, I'm a bad reader, that's not a good thought to have. Maybe I'm not, maybe I wasn't in it in time, but it's not something that I can't change. It's not something that you can't change. Whatever it is that, you know, you suck at the present moment, you know, you can adapt, you can get better. You can, what the yo, that bat low-key scared me. I know I heard it, but like it came out, and why did it look like that? I don't like how that looks. That bat low-key like jump scared me. Like I could hear it in this wall here, and I was like, low-key, like what? I was like trying to look for it. It's another one. They changed the way they look in this little tiny cave. Okay. Besides me getting jump scared by a little passive mob that I could literally hear. But yeah, it's, why did I make a stone axe, bro? I did not even do that. I did not need to do that. But yeah, in that present moment, I was reinforcing, in that moment of weakness and, you know, pain that I was having, I decided I was negative to myself, and I ended up reinforcing a version of myself that I, you know, did not like. I did not want to be. I did not end up reinforcing a version of myself that I did not like. I did not you know, let me just get rid of this. I did not and by speaking and thinking to myself that, oh, I suck, I'm not a good reader, you know, what's the point of me even doing this if I'm just gonna, you know, fail the quizzes or whatever. It just makes me, it made me want to get better. It kind of got rid of my what is the word, bro? It made me upset with myself, which led to me not like beating down on myself, and made me not want to get better, I guess, in a sense. And I ended up, you know, dictating my mood for the rest of the day. So I could, like, after that, when I went to the library, I couldn't even study. I ended up sitting in the library doom scrolling because I was like, I was stressing myself, and I was trying to get some sort of like relief. And by, you know, not thinking about the work that I had to do, that ended up making me feel better in that present moment. And so you have to be kind to yourself. You have to be kind to yourself. That was the general question of, you know, that was generally what I was trying to get to as I was yapping. I low-key kind of forgot what I was like initially talking about as I started this video. And, you know, that's something that I will get better. And I didn't think he was gonna blow up. And that's something that I'll get better at, you know, as the videos go on, because and that's something that I plan to get better at as the and that's something that I hope I get better at, because, you know, I didn't exactly write down a topic that I was gonna talk about. I low-key just turned on the camera and I just started speaking, and that's how I ended up low-key rambling on about something that wasn't really related to my point. But my point is, you have to be in tune. The point is that you have to be in tune with your emotions. You have to think about your emotional state. You know, why am I feeling this way? Especially whenever there's a shift. You know what I mean? Like if you wake up and you don't feel good, or you feel bad, you have to think about, okay, what led to this moment? You know, is this something that happened yesterday? Maybe I'm, you know, maybe I didn't sleep well. You know, you gotta think about but especially when it happens in the middle of the day, like what happened, like with me, my day had already started. I was in a fine mood, and all of a sudden I just lost I just lost energy. Like I lost all like will to do any of the tasks I had set out to do that day. And you know, when you come and it's totally okay to feel like that sometimes, because it helps you, you know, learn more about yourself and understand, you know, why, you know, and now and it's in my case, it's helped me come to understand that I don't have to uh because sometimes things like, because when you're not fully in tune with your emotions, like how I was able to unconsciously change my emotional state, and not in a good way, not in a good way. So it's something that we have to be aware of, you know what I mean? Because to have full control, obviously we can't have full control of our lives. Some things, you know, are going to happen that I've not played this game in a while. What the hell is this? Firefly. There's fireflies now? That's sick. Uh but sometimes things are going to happen in this life that, you know, are of course naturally just going to make you feel bad, or, you know, but I can't but you can control how you react to that, you know. I might not you're not be able to control that guy who, you know, who comes over into your lane and cuts you off on the highway. And, you know, you could react by, you know, getting upset and, you know, road raging, and potentially, and you also driving recklessly and, you know, getting someone else, and potentially, you know, getting into an accident and hurting someone, yourself, or, you know, someone else. Or, you know, you can consider, okay, well, maybe he was in a rush, or maybe it was a mistake, you know, because there have been times on the, you know, when I've drove and I've cut off someone without realizing, or, you know, without intending to. And, you know, that kind of thing happens, and that's okay. Dog. Unfortunate. And that's okay. See, that dog, he didn't want to be my pet. And, you know, younger me probably would have killed that dog. I'm gonna be honest. I would have definitely murdered that dog, because he, you know, chose not to be a partner. But I've grown, and I am a much, you know, better person. Better person. And I, you know, I think I'm a better person though, for not killing that dog. But um but it is I did not run into any sheep today, bro. Like I'm gonna have to face the night with with no sort of protection. I didn't find a village either. But yeah, my little tidbit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be some. I'm not trying to teach. I'm just giving my experience, and how, you know, I, you know, and what I, you know, I'm just giving my experiences and what I've learned, and what I've bleh, and what I've learned from them. So I think something that I think we can all do is take at some random point today, take a note of your mental state. You know, think about just think about, you know, what you're currently feeling in this moment, and why you might be feeling it. Like right now, I feel very calm. I feel relaxed. I feel comfortable. And I would say the reason for that is because I am in my own home. I am doing something. I am, you know, I'm hydrated. I'm not hungry. I actually just woke up from a nap because I felt a little tired earlier. So I feel pretty good right now. Dang, that zombie can see me. I feel pretty good right now. And I'm, you know, and I'm doing something that I enjoy, which is, you know, talking to people on the internet. And, uh, no, actually, I'm gonna kill you because you kind of ruined my moment. And it is, yo, what is up with these monsters, bro? You tell how far away can how far away can mobs see in this game? Like, genuine question. I don't remember. I gotta be at least like 20 plus blocks away from that zombie, and he was able to see me, and he was chasing me. It's genuinely shocking to me. Yeah, I think something that I wanna. Ooh, a sheep. I think some. Ooh, multiple sheep. I think something that I would like to start doing is maybe journaling. You know, in the mornings at least, at the very least, just the. And if that's something, if that's something that some of you guys have done, let me know how that is, because I've been putting it off because it seems like a lot of work to do. But the past, like, I did write like a few sentences earlier, like nothing too deep, but I kind of just wrote some sentences about like how I felt in the present moment, and you know, I think that helps. So I think I'll make a habit of, you know, at certain times throughout my day, making an effort to uh you know, whenever I feel a significant mood change, or just, you know, it doesn't even matter if it's like a significant change, just maybe just in the mornings, you know, just uh expressing my feelings, because, and I feel like that's something that a lot of men don't do, so they end up never getting a good emotional hold on their feelings. But that's a video for another day. Actually, it's actually a good. It's actually something I think I could talk about pretty, you know, pretty well. I think some of the guys would be able to resonate with that. But I think this video has been long enough. I just want to make a bed really quickly. Ow. And I want to find somewhere to sleep. Yeah, you guys are burning. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to journal, just I don't know, just share, just talk to yourself out loud. As weird as that sounds, just talk to yourself. Like, just think about, like, talk to yourself and think about, you know, what am I feeling right now? How do I feel in this present moment? You know, and trust me, I think it'll help you. You know, maybe not, you know, in instantly, but you shall eventually. Oh, a village. I think I'll go there next time. You'll be able to get some sort of you'll be able to gain some information about yourself for sure. Like, there's no harm in it. But yeah, I think that's all I got. I think that's all I got for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.